Welcome to the Free River Valley series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 2nd of March 1932, which is quite a long time on from the end of the last video. In fact, it's the whole winter. The reason why I've played on so far is simply down to the fact that I'm having a real problem getting these factory connections built. So what I effectively did was I just let all the jobs run out and just left the the construction crews to work on these bridges. And that's the reason why I've played on so far, because nothing was happening. All I was doing was just monitoring the town and try and get all these various construction factory connections finished. And in this part, what I want to do is focus on two things. One, developing the town itself, which I will explain in a little while as well. Also, I want to expand the farm for a reason, which I'll explain in a little while as well. But first things first, I'd say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me a lot to think about. And I did get a very interesting suggestion about using a conveyor system to get the goods up and down this slope here. And I really like that. But the only real possible problem I'm going to get is trying to get up these slopes, so we may have to bring the conveyor system down round through here, because this is very steep over here. And then if I come through and show you the other side, which is something that I'm even more interested in, there is a kind of a gentle slope here, so we might be able to get a conveyor belt system down here, because of course one of the big advantages is we've got quite large coal and iron deposits down here. That is a very useful suggestion. Now, I also got a question about making the steel here. And I think in some ways I've been misleading you guys a little bit, because I've been planning all this stuff out here, but I'm not 100% certain I'm actually going to get round to building this. Probably because I haven't really explained what I was trying to do. Because at the moment we're in March 1932. Actually, I'm just going to let the game run a bit faster so we can get those factory connections finished. My target date is to get this town up and self-sufficient, making money by 1938. Because when 1938 comes, if you watch the initial video, I was talking about the fact that the military camp mod, which is the ones, if I come into here and just select with fire station, we got this mod here. What we're going to do after 1938 is start building a military camp up here, which will then become the focus of our expansion, because one, the expansion is going to be a lot easier up here, and there's also, we've got coal and iron relatively nearby. You've got some oil on the other side of the river, so this is eventually going to be becoming my main industrial hub. But what I wanted to do down in the southwest corner, beyond somebody else also mentioning about the fact that they didn't go much on being close to NATO. The main reason I'm doing this is to showcase the early NATO vehicles and just a little bit of different game spa. But the focus eventually will shift up here. We'll get our military camp going, we'll build a town, and we'll start getting quite industrialized up here. And the idea is that this town down here will be the kind of economic hub which will give us the money to develop the north. So that means if I can get this economy stable, we might not need to build this gravel production, although possibly we will, because we're going to need to expand this way eventually as well. Working right round in a circle, the steel mill here may never get built, is probably the best explanation, because I don't want this area to get heavily industrialized. This is all very much about creating a stable economy. Looks like we've got no workers in here. Now, I suppose that is a good segue to another comment you guys have got about the population here and buying more workers in. And I'm just seeing whether these guys would demonstrate it. I'm a bit reluctant to push the economy too hard, because you can see we've already got problems with this store. Even with a max number of vendors, can't really supply they just about supply the food and commerce to this area here. So in some ways I made a bit of a mistake by building this very small shop here. And again, you see it comes in, so I can't push the population too hard, but I've got a plan. which I will talk about as we go forward. Now, to just give you a bit of an update, is that I've got these buildings here, which we got wood in, but I don't have the workforce at the moment. So they're just going to have to sit there and look pretty for the moment, because I can't see the point of getting this working before. But one thing I do want to do is we're going to, well, we can leave that for the moment because I think, yeah, I think that can stay for the moment. Now, I also got another comment about this Kokia system here, and what was actually said is that I should be building a pump like this here, which will actually empty out the sewage. But through the winter, I monitored this, and what this seems to do is build up to about 50 cubic meters, and then it seems to dump out a little bit there. So I probably will build a pump here for the final solution, but at the moment, I'm quite. If this doesn't fill up too much, I'm not too worried. So if we watch this guy come in, he's got 5 tons, and I don't know if he will do it. Just let him come in. He will put. See, it's almost like that's a magic number. But the truck comes in here, but it never seems to go above 50 tons. So that's the area there. Just to give you an update while we're down here, we're still emptying the crops out of here. We're on the 17th of March, and I'm hoping that we're now going to get into a balance. I put a warehouse here, which I'm going to knock down because I don't need it. It was a bit of wishful thinking. Anyway, so that is that there. So what we're going to do is get up to here because the population is approaching 900. I think somebody actually pointed out that in when we get above 1,000, 1,200, we're also going to need a legal system built as well. That's something else we're going to need to think about. If we're finally getting these finished, good. Haha. Right, I'm just going to run a bit slower. I think we're going to do the shop first. And I was looking at this and put this in here. Now I've come up with a kind of strategy to fix this problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. It's got no cost because there's nothing ever built. I'm going to remove this here. Bring that back. And then what I'm going to do is put a shop in here, but a bigger shop. And what I'm thinking is I've got the corner market V2 here. And this has got 20 vendors, which is 3 times the number. And what we're going to do is put this in about here. It's in range of the power. It doesn't need heat. So we're just going to put you about there. We'll get the... I think we'll get the main road crew and the digger crew on that. So what we're going to do is build a shop here. And the other thing, we accidentally built the Tudor jail. And we've got town police here. And what I'm going to do is get these guys started working on the police force. So this is going to be more of a case of getting the buildings done in preparation for when I need it. We're not going to get the workforce in there because, of course, we haven't got the workforce. And I want to get the shop built and the court system built before I start bringing in immigrants, which some of you have suggested, because I don't want to push this too hard at the moment. So that's the thing that I want to do. And just to show you the economy, we are making, because I'm not really building very much at the moment, what I'm going to be, we are actually making some money on both sides. So at the moment, I'm quite happy for that to run. The one thing I will do here is we got these here, can walk to there, but I think as a temporary solution, we're going to put in 3 bus stop here. just there. Now I did get another comment about the building this wasn't as efficient as biofuel, because again, if I show you, oops, not that, not population, that's income. If we look at imports, fuel is rapidly becoming one of our major expenses. So what I'm thinking is to put some biofuel in here, but we need to empty this. I actually, no, okay, we need to remove you, because I need to empty this out, because what I'm thinking is to put the biofuel plant in here, which is now leads into what I was hinting at down here, is I really do need to expand my farm out. But before that, I want to kind of get this into a permanent solution. So what we're going to do is put you back to unload there. And we've got a little bit of money. We've got 66,000. And I'm going to get another Mac cupboard hole here. Get a big one. And we're just going to tuck you into there. And what this guy can do is deliver up to here. Food store, like that. So this will, so what we get is the 2 trucks down here, which will deliver up to there. So the first, now just to explain, I put a warehouse here because I was going to expand the storage, but I've kind of thought that I need to go on a slightly grander scale than that. And so what I'm going to do is, I think it's on page 2. It's a bit of a dilemma because I'm looking for something that looks 1930s, but isn't massive. This would store. This is 4,000, but it's too big. But this is 3,800, and it kind of fits in this area here, and it would be in range. And what I'm thinking is, we can get that. Actually, if I just drop that off, get you in as close as possible like that. We can just connect this. Make sure this connects to a dirt road. And then what I'd like to do is put 2 cargo connections in. Put one coming out that side like that. And then put another one on this side. Maybe back a little bit like that. Now, the reason I put one in this direction, because we're going to have fields over here. Now, the next thing is I'll take this road out. Bring you back to there. Now, what I'd like to do is put a big field in here, if it would fit. I'm going to get some clipping off the water. I can get that in just about there. Then I'm going to put a farm in, and I kind of deliberated about what type of farm, but the one that interests me is this large Tudor farm from Nova, and I think it would fit in quite nicely here. In fact, we could probably put it up like that, couldn't we? We're probably going to need a power supply out here as well, so because it's obviously the center of the building is okay. We'll go that way. And that out. I've broken this road here, which is not that good. You can connect there. Then what we'll do is we'll hook up everything through here. Game run. And then what we'll do is we'll put some fields in here. Just get the fields in over here. We're going to try and get as many big fields in as possible. So it's going to be a little bit tight. If we put a large field as close in about there, we can't. Well, we could cheat because of. I don't know if you guys have noticed that because the lake isn't recognized as part of the game, we could put a big field in here, but we'd have a bit of the field in the water, and I don't think that's appropriate. So what we will do is put a small medium field in there. I doubt if we'll be able to get a large field in here. No. Again, it's just going to kind of crop over. So, oh, we got some new vehicle types. We'll be talk a little bit about vehicle types in a little while. We get another one just on the end here. Yeah, so we can get 3 fields here. And we'll stick with the mud roads for the moment, although we will eventually upgrade them. You can come down here. And you can hook into there. You can hook into there. You can hook into there. And that kind of fills that corner in. Got a large field here. We could probably put a medium field in there. What I'm looking to do is just get enough crop production here for the alcohol, the food, the clothes, and also the biofuel. So we're kind of trying to squeeze. We're going to be trying to squeeze in quite a lot up here. And let me just see. Don't think this will interfere with the tree cutting. So again, another big field there. Kind of run it out like that. Another big field there. Put one here, but I think that will interfere with the tree cutting operation. So going on here? Okay, it's a bit horrible. Actually, I think we will. Let's just gravel in those sections there. And we may put an extra field down there, but I think that covers most of the area around here now. Right, let's just get up here and see what's going on. Right, I want that shop built. We've got a what we call it here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, review, polish. That's just a temporary building. So yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. Wasted a little bit of gravel there, but okay, let's just get back to see what I was saying, that we got this little overflow here, and that's with 5 out of 6 workers. And of course the problem is, if I just pause the game and show you, it's the average productivity, because the happiness average is still quite low. And the reason for that is that we come into here, we got a few people that are getting a little bit more problems. So I need to ensure that we got this good food supply here, because the more we get more workers into here, we can then ensure that everything goes. I think what I'll do is I'll build this store, and then I'll probably knock this one down and replace it with a bigger store. so that we got more coverage going forward. Now, I think this would be a good time to actually talk a little bit about the vehicles. In fact, before we do that, I mean, we just got. Looks like we've only got the one job. We've finally finished all these, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to. Looks like the police station is. That police station finished. I don't want anyone in the police station, please. Empty it. We do need a police car. I think that is a good segue into talking about early vehicles, police cars. Got a Stanley steamer. Oh yeah, we've got to get one of these. But have a good look at the Stanley steamer. And I'll put you into there. Get back up here. It's a pretty cool looking. No driver though, which is a bit unfortunate, but pretty cool looking model, isn't it? It's good old Stanley steamer. Sorry that camera doesn't want to get in any closer than that. Anyway, so we'll just get the Stanley steamer in the police station ready to go. Right, let's just allocate. Got that built, that built. We built the police station. Building the store. The other thing, we're going to have to be very tempted to get a few workers in. Let me just see. Okay, what we're going to do is we're over 400,000. I'm going to bring in a small number of immigrants just to push everything going forward. One thing I did build over the winter was I put some more loyalty stuff in to try and get it. See, we get. See, this is another reason why I don't like bringing in too many people with the shop being marginal. If say I bought in 30 or 40, they'd all first thing they'd do is go and get some food, and then that actually causes a blockage in here. Of course, the another thing we're going to need to think about is actually getting some more residential stuff built. I think let me just see what we got going on down here. We got these guys being built. This is being built. Yeah. Actually, we're gonna have to need to put the normal road crews on there to get those factory connections done. Get this built, which will give us the connection through to there. It's good. Whoops. And so this area here, do I want to build the charcoal kilns? I think I want to concentrate on the town first so that we can get things going. Part of me would like to. Okay, we got. Did I see someone worker flash into there? So it looks like we're getting an itinerant worker in here at the moment. I think because we need to build up, we need to consume some of these crops and build up some fabric. I think I've got a spare bus knocking around it. Yes, I have. Okay, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pick up from there. We don't want educated workers. Oops. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make fabric. Nothing, not clothes, because we don't have enough workforce to be able to. How can you say? We don't have enough workforce to be able to support fabric and clothes. So if we produce fabric, because we're going to have to create 7 tons to put into there. Because I actually realised what I should have done is directly connected this fabric factory to the clothes factory. We shouldn't have. The warehouse is kind of a little bit in the way because this warehouse won't pull from this area here. But I think that will work. If we get any surplus workforce in here, although we won't. So we're going to have to just keep an eye on the overall production. So we need more professors. I think we're just going to increase our, because we need to get our education up as well. We've got 44 highly educated people, which is quite low considering we got a population of 900. We've got far too many workers with lower education. We need to start trying to improve this education as well. Right. So that is now finished, and we'll get the store done. And I'm going to have another go at talking about vehicles, because I had a couple of comments. Someone said about the, being so close to NATO. And this is one of the difficulties that when you plan an early start, because there's like a hole between about 1920 and 1930. And probably the best way to explain it is if I show you the NATO vehicles that are available at the moment. Bearing in mind that we're in 1932, if you look at all the vehicles here, what you'll see is that you get quite a wide selection of vehicles. In fact, probably easier to say it this way. You've got the Mack trucks, bulldozers, buses. But if you look carefully, you'll see that most of them appear in 1919. There's very little that, I think there's just the odd vehicle, like say from an open hull point of view, I think the earliest date is by about 1916. So if you start in 1900, even if you were next to a NATO post, you wouldn't get access to all these vehicles. And so you can see I think the first one is you get a police car in 1908. So if you start in 1900, if I go back up to here and we look in here, we just look at anything covered hulls, you'll see that the only things you have available in 1900 is Nova's horse carts mod. What comes along in 1907 is the steam dumper. So that's your starting vehicles in 1900. And then what happens is you've got about 20 years of doing that. Now, if you start in 1920, you don't, especially if you're not close to a NATO post, you're effectively starting in 1900, if that makes sense, because you won't get the good vehicles appearing until the mid to late 1920s, even into the 1930s. And so this is a bit of a dilemma. There's a hole where the good vehicles are coming from NATO, but the Soviet vehicles are basically horse-drawn wagons and steam vehicles. But then after once you get to the end of the 1930s into the 1940s, it starts to flip round the other way, which is the fact that the Western vehicles disappear, and then what you start to get is more and more Soviet vehicles. That's the reason why I started in 1928 in this position. Now, if I was going to start up here, I'd either start in 1900 or 1930, let's say 1938, 1939, because starting simply because starting like I did in 1928 up here, as I said, you're already started at 1900. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the one thing I will say, if there's any modders out there, if I come over to here, because I think this is the one thing that's missing from Nova's Steam mod, is the fact that we've got, if I show you here, we've got all these lovely steam powered covered hulls and all that. But the one thing that's missing is a steam roller. And I actually, every summer, I go to a big steam traction fair, which is in Dorset in England. And I go there every year because I like my traction engines. And at that fair, I look at lots of steam rollers. These are steam traction engines, which were used to level the roads. And it seems a bit of an anomaly that the one vehicle that's missing from that steam collection is probably one of the most iconic engines from that time, which was the big steam roller with the big heavy roller at the front. And then that spins into the fact that And considering the traction engines were so iconic, I'm not convinced that nobody in Eastern Europe built a steamroller in the 1910s, 1920s. So to me, that's something that's completely missing from that mod. And that spins into the fact that Eastern Europe had a very strong economy in the 1920s. So that gap between 1920 and 1930 just seems very much an oddity with respect to Soviet vehicles. Now, that doesn't mean I'm asking for super powerful vehicles. It just seems a bit of an inconsistency anyway, guys. Anyway, and I'll stop ranting and get back to playing the game. So this is coming together with courthouse. We're keeping the workers local at the moment, so but we do really need this market here built up. Apologies that we're not doing very much, but we getting a little bit of fabric coming through now, but of course it won't bleed through. So it's almost like we've got to make 7 tons of fabric before it goes into here. I think what I will do is we're going to stop. I need to empty this warehouse out a little bit as well, because in fact I don't really want. Actually, I think I can leave it that way because I think I've changed this so that it doesn't deliver. Where are these guys? I think what we'll do temporarily is drop that off. I'm a bit worried about the fact that I've got 2 trucks here and they're both not one of them sat there. 36. Okay, we've got plenty of crops. That was the food situation. We've got the food here. See, this is what's making me uncomfortable, because if we start getting in here, it starts saying that people can't get food. Oh, we're out of power again. That means this is the catch-22 situation I'm in at the moment. Is that I need to build the I need to build the population. I need to sort this shop out first, because if I don't, we're going to be in trouble. See, I can send close people here. The key factor is the food. Come on. In some ways, all we got to do is store food in here, not clothes or anything like that, or electronics. I mean, the electronics and even to a certain degree the meat, because meat-wise we're doing okay, because we've got this one here which is producing meat, and we've also got this one here that's producing meat as well. So we can. How much meat have you got in the truck here? Oh, you're getting a bit. See, again, the meat. That meat is starting to get a little bit low. Although he's got 0.38 in there. So again, we're just going to have to pay attention to this. I think at the moment, most of my meat is going to export. Let me just see. Yeah, I mean, meat is a reasonable money spinner. I'm kind of starting to think that I might need another one of these as well. How are we doing cash-wise? We're losing. Last month we lost that month, but there's guarantee it's still close. Okay, we bought some clothes in, but we're holding up. We got 395 here, and we are making a small profit with respect to. So I think if I can fix the population problem here, we're do a lot better. I think. Hope it should work. It doesn't. Well, oh, we got our first fire. Where's the fire? Yeah. I think that is our first official fire. Well, it's the first fire I have actually noticed. Also worth noting that all these buildings are now filling up. So we are. This one's nearly full. So we are going to need some extra accommodation. before because we can't just keep pumping people into this. Well, let's see, how many jobs have we got? At the moment we're building the courthouse and that. We do need to think about getting these built. I think we'll add one of those just for the moment. We got the road crews probably aren't doing anything now. New vehicle type. Okay. Alpha 400. I'd guess that this is going to be a Western vehicle. Just see. I'm not going to buy one. Just want to take a look. We got an Alpha 400, which is 72 kilometers hour speed. Or I mean, the Mack trucks. It's this one down here is the best one. 6,000. Williams Thunderbolt. Okay, it's pretty cool. Now, someone did say about actually bringing in the foreign workforce, but I don't feel that you can make money from industry with foreign workforce, and foreign workforce is very expensive. Right, so we're actually getting that fabric turning into some nice stuff here. So that is coming together quite nicely. Right, we've now got our store. Right, we're going to need a small cupboard hole now. Cupboard holes, capacity, bit of speed. We got a gas AAA. So you can see this is 1932. So this snuck up on me. This is one that we can now use. So we got this gas here. We've got the R3 is 1.5, but that's only 30 kilometers an hour. So the gas in its own way will be a bit more efficient. So maybe the gas AAAs now are the ones we want to use. Right, so we're going to buy 2 of those. And then we're going to send them to this distribution office here. Get you going. And this is going to be a little bit painful. Okay. I'm going to get you to pick up from here and deliver to there. I think we'll leave everything on 30% to begin with because I don't want to really stock up here. You're going to load from there. Okay. I'll just let that run for the moment and then I'll set it up properly later on. We're getting the sellers in here. We just need the food and okay. We pick up food, yeah, clothes, electronics, and we're just going to deliver 30%. 30% into here is a couple of tons. 50% is 7.5. And then what I'm going to do is just scale it up a little bit. And what that should do is we got the vendors in here. Probably reduce you down to about, say about 10. And we're just going to get that set up. Oops, he just turned around and it's almost like there's a pathing issue here with this guy. Yep, some goods are missing. Right, we now need to deal with meats. You've got 4.5 tons. I want a little refrigerator truck. Got refrigerator. No, oh, sorry, wrong one. Refrigerator truck. I think let's get you in here. You're just exporting, okay. I think what you can do is pick up from there and deliver to there. You can load there, and then you can unload there, and you can wait until unloaded. I think that might be a bit of a problem, actually. I'm gonna monitor this guy. Gonna follow him for a little while. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Okay. Where are you? Okay, where are you? And what that will do is get me into here. And what that should do now is take some of the pressure off of this shop, because we got this shop here. In fact, I just want to see if we can, yeah. I think we're just going to let it settle down first. And what we can, we got 390,000 now. So I'm just going to bring in some more, another 20 immigrants, but we're going to need to build some accommodation now. I think I'd like to build this next. I don't want the courthouse yet. So we'll just get rid of you. Now we are going to need to get meat, closed meat and food into the jail. We've also got a small radio station to build. So if we build the workforce up, then I can take this down, and then maybe we could build a new store here, similar to this one. And then what those two stores working together should provide more than enough for the population. All right, we've got 9 reported crimes. Okay. Yeah, well, the crime is now starting to pick up. It's not serious, but it's something we're going to need to keep an eye on now. What's that? It looks like it's a vehicle or something. So, okay, we got I think we need to start doing a little bit of work with the road signs now. Another exciting thing. I think we're going to put the priority on that one there. Because that's the main road junction. Right, let's just put these through here. I wouldn't mind building this road through here. Get that finished. Get that connected up. Is the gas station, where is it? Here. You still got fuel. We need to empty you out so that I can build the biofuel plant. We now got a proper gas station here. getting any more congestion points here. I think the rest of it looks pretty good. What we got here? We've built this. Oh wow, we've got the. I think it's time that we can. Perhaps if I actually build the road, I suppose. Okay, road in. Actually, I think we'll build that road in as well. Just keep the construction crews busy. Just build out those roads. Now, I'd like to get that tuna farm finished by next March, and then we'll just ramp it up a little bit and see if we can get things going. How's the crop situation? We're on June. Got about 500 tons left. Can we make some more money from what's the... We're going to be a bit careful because 332. Can I make some quick cash from... But then if we get this built, no, it won't be finished for this harvest, will it? Okay, we're just going to... we're on the 17th of June. Right, we're just going to do the usual thing I did. Just export crops from there. Take a chance. How are we doing? Right, we've got electronics. We've got a little bit of meat in here. Got a new vehicle type. God knows, it looks like a personal transport or something. Let me just have a look. It's not a personal car. Not a police car. Oh, oh, so we got a prison bus. It's 80 kilometers an hour. Wow. Okay. So we're at a point now where I've got to keep an eye on the what we call it, the vehicles coming in, because okay, we got another problem with road here. We'll do this up through here as well. I think this one we may need to customize a little bit. I've got to remember how to do this. Right, it's that's it. Yeah. No, not one is meant to be that. 3 is meant to be that. What that means is vehicles coming up here will have the priority on the junction because there aren't many vehicles coming from that way. What that means is they don't stop. How are we doing? So we got that there. Okay. And we got a tiny amount of meat in there. I'm kind of thinking another one of these guys. I mean, it's a really good return for what little outlay you put out. In fact, I am going to put one in. I think we can put another one in. Actually, we could put one over here, actually. How far out would these people travel? This is a 6-story. We put one out here. We got this distribution office, which seems to be very busy at the moment. I suppose what they're trying to do is fill up the what we call it. I think we might need some more workers in here. I don't know. They're keeping pace. I think we will put another hunter's hut out here. I think this tiny construction office, I don't think we're ever going to build, so I'm just going to get rid of you. But to do this, we're going to need to build this, aren't we? Because if I put in a factory, yeah, okay, we're gonna have to. Right, we're gonna need. I think it's time to put in, build this and Where is it? That. We need to get the power out here because I can't keep packing the town in. And what that means is that we can then put in another one of these in here. We're gonna do that. We'll just put you out there, and we'll just put a slip of mud road in there. But we don't need to build it straight away. How are we doing economically? 23,000. Yeah, the clothes and that coming in is causing a little bit of a cause for concern. I think we're at a point now. If I can find the. What are you? Oh, you're delivering logs. Okay. Right. We need to edit your route. You're now going to come to there, and we're going to remove the linen factory. And we're going to rename you bus stop. What can we call it? Close temp. And what that will mean is what we're this should do now is allow us to get workers into here. And what we can do is set this up as a pickup point for close, as an optional pickup point for close. Begin with. And then we can get some clothes going into there. Crime not reported. And once this is built, then these people can walk to here and provide a workforce. So nearly there. Just got to get that money going, flowing nicely. I'm worried about the crime rate. 69, 63%. We still haven't really cracked the. I think this loyalty is too high, so we're going to drop the loyalty down a bit. I think I've got the same problem here. I think we're going to drop the loyalty down a little bit. See if we can get more teachers into here. I think I've been a bit optimistic because there's the average is 40. So we can get more teachers in, more universities, get some more workers in. Yeah, we're getting some more workers into here now, which is going to be the secret police. The town police don't suffer from that problem, nor do that. The jail, we're going to put you down to 25%. We're going to need to get food into the jail, which means we're. I think what we're going to do is load the gel up with food as well. So put 100% on that. The prisoners may have to wait a little bit for the what we call it, the meat. I think we're going to make a change to here. We're going to pick up directly from the clothes factory. Because again, we're going to have the same problem as before with respect to the this will fill up, so a direct pickup will work until such time as we've got a population that's big enough to push this out fast enough. Yeah, so we got kind of a bit annoying, I say, but it's my fault, so I can't complain. I should have been a bit more focused on what we're doing. Is the crops going down in the warehouse? A little bit. Right, we're now on the 11th of July. Let me just get back to here. We've now emptied this. These guys are... Hopefully this will be the last year that we actually do this. Get you to unload. Yeah, hopefully this will be the last time we actually do this. Farm. Signed for construction office, yes. Right, so that's the big project for the Wharton. We got this is definitely got to be finished by March. So at the moment, all we're building is this, this, and this. This is built. This is built. So I think we can get workers into that. Something else also tells me that I need to sort out the distribution in this area. What's this? This is a Gazé. Comrades from the nearby Berry Farm, the public has introduced a new type of vehicle, the Gazé. The Gazé. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a congestion here, which is a... But then again, it's the good old gravel trucks again. Okay, Gazé. I think that looked almost like an ambulance. Yep. So we've now got a Gazé ambulance. Let's have a look through and see what we've got in the way of vehicles. So we've only got the couple of buses. They're still both quite slow. Cargo cars, concrete mixers. We've got a Gaz AAA, which is replacing the Amoco and that. Although this one's got this older one that's slower, has got a bigger capacity. Again, this is a decision that you need to make when you're doing an early start. It's speed over capacity. Got nothing new there. We've just got the Gaz AAAs. Dry bulk. Got Amoco, dumpers. Again, we got this 70-mile-an-hour Gazé, but it only carries 1.2 tons of gravel. So the capacity, so this one here, which has got the higher capacity, is slower. Haven't got a decent excavator, felled trees, fire trucks, harvesting. We got this one, people's pre-war harvester, but I think the ones we've already got is just as good. In fact, I think they're marginally faster. Yeah, we've got Gaz AAAs, which came in this year. Sorry, not month. Model 29, open holes, R3s, passenger cabins, pavers, personal car. Looks like we got no new cars. Got the Standy steamer. Got our Standy steamer police. I'm not sure there. We got our new prison bus, which we could use to put. Once we start putting people in prison, we can do it. Road cranes. We've still got no road cranes. Sewage trucks. Snow plows. We've still got no snow plows. Sewing. We haven't got anything new here. We got 1924 Fordson water trucks. So we've still got a fairly limited range of vehicles. Just go here. But hopefully that will improve over time. Because at the moment what we got here, we got these things, these MD22s, which I think are just as efficient. And of course we got these really awesome steam traction engines. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna line this up for the thumbnail. I've just realized I've gone over time on this video, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. Hopefully in the next part we'll be able to shift the focus a little bit more towards building up our economy. Now we got this shop covering and offsetting the problems with this store, we should now be able to start expanding our population, working on making the economy more profitable, get some clothes shipped around. We got clothes and food in our jail ready to go for when our first prisoners move in. We've got we're now getting at least a small workforce into here, so I think just to finish off, oh no, wow, I better not buy some population. We need accommodation. And I mean, this is going to be quite big, the old gatehouse here, but we need to get this finished. I think maybe we need another set of accommodation. The population is growing too fast. We've got past 1,000, still got people unemployed. So maybe in the next part, the focus will be still on growing the population here, getting the justice system working, and then also getting some of these industries that are already built online. How many buildings we got? 1, 2, 3. This is built now, so we got power over here. What's the power? Yeah, so we got a little bit of power over here now, so that should make a difference. I think just to do it, we'll get this set up. But so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.